Yes guys, welcome back to another video where I basically teach how to lose fat for long-term sustainability without going on strict diets and giving up within 8 weeks. In today's video, we are going to discuss why strict diets don't actually work for fat loss. Now, we've probably all done it. When you start your fat loss journey, you'll stick to a really strict diet, trying to get the best out of what you're doing. But within 4, 8, 12 weeks, possibly, you're giving up and back to square one. It's because they're not designed to work within your fat loss journey. Now, don't get me wrong, they are great if you are wanting to do any sort of photo shoot, if you're wanting to do any sort of competition, but for long-term sustainability, it's not something that you can really stick to and stick to for over a year and get the best out of what you're doing. So why do strict diets actually fail within a long period of time? It's because it has that forbidden fruit effect. Now, restrictions increase food obsession, and when food becomes off limits, you crave it more intensely. So let's say you enjoy going out at the weekend, you enjoy having a pizza, you enjoy having a kebab, a few drinks. If you take that completely out of your diet altogether, then I can guarantee like I said, within 4, 8, possibly even 12 weeks, you are going to go back to it and you are going to be constantly craving it. And when you do it, you are going to do it in excess. It rapidly reduces your energy. Now, don't get me wrong, within your fat loss journey, you need to be in a calorie deficit. But what you'll find, if you are reducing your calories quite a lot all of a sudden, your energy is going to be massively reduced because you're not obviously feeding your body what it needs. And quite frankly, it has zero sustainability. So like I say, you'll be able to stick to it for a good couple of weeks, possibly even a month, but you will go back to square one. It's not something that you can do for long-term sustainability. It is the all or nothing mindset where basically when people start the fat loss journey, they think they need to change everything all at once. And when you do this, you are taking yourself out of your comfort zone. You're taking yourself out of your comfort levels as to what you're used to. So rather than trying to work with what you're currently doing, reducing the amount of calories, still eating the food you enjoy, you feel like you need to change everything all at once, taking away everything what you are used to. What you'll find if you jump on a strict diet plan within your fat loss journey, you'll tend to end up in a little cycle and it just repeats the process all the way through. So you'll start off well, you'll start off absolutely smashing it, sticking to the calories, the proteins, the carbohydrates, the fats, and doing really well with it. But what will happen is you'll have one bad meal, as you may call it, and you go back to square one. You'll think, oh, I need to start Monday, or even within that day when you've had the bad meal, you'll think, oh, I've ruined my diet anyway, why not just enjoy this packet of crisps, packet of biscuits, and like I said, just completely go off plan. So within your fat loss journey, when starting out, rather than trying to stick to everything being so strict, try and have a flexible eating approach. The first main thing what you need to try and do is have balance within your diet. Now, obviously within a fat loss journey, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Obviously that is what you need to be doing to lose fat. But if you are still including the food you enjoy, if you are having a little bit of a flexible approach within your diet, but still sticking within your calories, then you are going to more likely stick to it for a long period of time. So rather than, like I said, just cutting everything out altogether and craving it bad, and when you do crave it, you go all in with it, still include little things within your diet. So it's not at the forefront of your mind, you're not constantly thinking about it, and like I say, you can still enjoy the meals, you can still enjoy the food, but still get the results as well. You also want to focus highly on calories in your protein intake. Now, like I say, calorie intake is the most important thing for your fat loss journey, because if you're not in a calorie deficit, you're not going to be losing fat. And then protein as well, because protein makes you feel fuller for longer. So if you are having, like I say, a high protein diet, then you are going to feel fuller for longer, so you're not going to be craving random sugary foods throughout the day. You also need to stop the labels good food and bad food, because realistically, one bad food won't make you fat, one good food won't make you lean. Yes, don't get me wrong, some foods are obviously a lot more calorie dense than others. Like I said, but just by having one burger won't make you fat, just by having one salad won't make you skinny. And you also want to start planning for real life. Now, don't get me wrong, if you can stick to a diet plan quite strict and well, then you are going to get the good results. But life happens, things get in the way, meals out at the weekend, you may obviously want a takeaway. Things happen within life what sometimes it's uncontrollable to not go off plan. So if you are, like I said, planning for real life situations, if you are planning for nights out, if you are planning for obviously meals out, then you're going to have a lot more flexibility within your diet, and make your fat loss journey kind of more of a lifestyle rather than just a quick fix. Now, if you've watched the motivation video, what I recently put out, you'll notice that motivation basically comes and goes and you can't just solely rely on this. Now, if you are just relying on motivation, starting your fat loss journey, just stick to that diet plan. Then when that motivation goes, you are going to go back to square one, eating your everyday foods, what you'd normally eat beforehand. But like I say, you're not going to know how to control it and still stay within that calorie deficit. So if you are planning stuff beforehand, before starting your fat loss journey, is to, right, I can eat this, I can eat this, I can eat this within obviously moderation, then you're going to have a lot more understanding. And when you do have days where you do feel a little bit low, a little bit rubbish, then like I say, you can still eat the foods you enjoy, but obviously in a lot more moderation. What you've got to remember is flexibility within your fat loss actually is the main key. So rather than going strict, all in straight from the get-go, you don't need anything, a strict diet plan, you don't need a strict training plan. You need flexibility within your life. If you've not really stepped foot in the gym before, if you've not really took care of what you're eating before, completely changing the whole aspect of your life is not going to be able to, like I say, have long-term sustainability with that. So if you have a lot of flexibility within that, then like I say, you have a higher chance of keeping getting it long-term sustainability. So if you're unsure of actually how to start your fat loss journey, head to the description. There'll be a link to a 5-day free fat loss course. Quite simply, pop your details in and it'll get sent straight over to you.